Hello, and welcome to high school. My name is Alex. I am a student in this high school. I realized this interview. How are you? What's your name? How can we learn to speak English if nobody speaks it to you? I consider that I can learn to speak English
Do you understand the question?
Yeah.
Yes. How can you learn to speak English if nobody speaks it to you? Is it possible to learn to speak English if nobody speaks to you in English? It's not possible. That's just to start off. Now I'll be polite and I'll answer your questions. Okay?
Okay.
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Fine. After 10 years learning English, why is speaking it so difficult for us?
Well, I think that my first idea is quite clear with what I did. I think that it's very difficult, impossible for people to learn English if nobody speaks to them in English. But that happens in Gallego, in Spanish, and in all languages. So, for me, the first important idea, is that English teachers must know how to speak English. And by this I mean that they should be able to accompany their everyday, normal, spontaneous action in English, naturally and comfortably. So what I did today, when we came in, I spoke to you in Gallego or in Spanish. I did it on purpose, but it isn't normal for an English teacher to greet you in Gallego, because otherwise today you wouldn't have to ask me how to say good afternoon in English. Okay? Because my children who are 7 years old know how to say good morning and good afternoon, because I say it to them every single day, naturally, good afternoon. It isn't in a book, in a textbook. I just say good afternoon, and they know it naturally. So I think that answers your first question. Yes?
Many other countries don't have this problem, right?
Well, that's a good question. That's a good question. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why, to be honest. I don't know. England, I grew up in England. England is not the case, I think, because I worked in a secondary school, in a high school in London, in North London, and the pupils there didn't know Spanish very well. They weren't very good. But I do think that in Germany, perhaps, and Holland, and those countries, I think they have a good competence in both languages. I think it's a different way of working, possibly. To start off with, teachers know English, which again is going to be always my first point. Teachers must know how to speak English fluently, comfortably. And in those countries, they know how to speak. Here, I'm not sure. From my experience, teachers, most teachers can't speak English.
It's a very problem.
Of course it's a problem. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Yes.
And, sorry, something related to this is there is a common mistake. Do you understand mistake? To think that primary teachers, infants and primary teachers like me, who teach children, don't need to know much English. They only need to know the colours. Red, yellow, green, and that's enough. But that is not so. Because for me, infant and primary teachers need to know a lot of English. Because speaking isn't saying red, blue, yellow, green. That's nonsense. We never speak like this. Learning a language is solving problems, using it to solve problems. Can I have a glass of water? Can you close the door? That was an example. It was an example. It's okay.
Okay.
I'm fine. Yeah? And when they're little is when people can... Oh, there's the bell. Okay? When children are little is when you can get very important aspects of language, such as pronunciation, imitating the music of a language, and that's very difficult to get when you grow up. So that's why it's very important for primary English teachers to know to have a good competence in English.
Okay.